But anyway, here's, for those of you who haven't seen it, okay, this is the EEV. Where? Oh, there's the shuttle. Okay, fine. This is the emergency escape vehicle. It is able to carry 2, 4. I believe it can carry 6 or 8 Kerbinauts, and it only needs to carry 5. There's the third space shuttle, Mun STS-4, which landed, and it's actually, there's enough fuel in the external tank so that I'm going to be able to pull fuel from it and refuel some of the other rovers. Okay, that over there, which we're going to right now, is, if we get to it, there we are. This is our rover. Okay, and currently it has 4 kerbals inside it. Okay, 2, 4, and so it can, again, this one can also carry a total of 6. The whole thing here was that for the mission was that I needed to in three shuttle missions, and only 3 shuttle missions, meaning I cannot send back send a rescue vehicle. The first has to bring up a research facility which is capable of supporting 5 kerbals. The second had to bring up a rover which was able to take these 5 kerbals and take them for a trip. And the third had to bring up the EEV, which is this. So, unfortunately, that's where I was supposed to land. Okay, this is where we landed. Okay, so let me, what I did here, let me see if I have the inventory here. Okay. Okay, good. I'm using Yeah, okay. I have all the inventory I need. Now you notice, talking about the inventory, go here. I have, I think 3 or 6 RTGs. These are radioscopic thermoelectric generators, and also an electric screwdriver. So that's 3 for Silver State, and we have Jack Trent. And Jack Trent has 2 of these, the resource transfer station, and then 6 of these. Now these guys are basically, they're valves, which or joint, they call it a joint socket. You stick it on the destination, and then you can run a pipe from the transfer station there. The transfer station is where you originate from, and you then have your kerbal grab a pipe, and you can walk over and connect it to the joint socket, and then you can transfer resources. All right, so actually what I really need to do turn off the brakes. Okay. What I really need to do is to stick one of those resource transfer stations on here right now. So I might as well do that while I'm thinking about it. And so that needs, nope. Jack Trent. Okay. And Jack Trent is a pilot. Wrong one. Pilot engineer. So actually what I need is either Ted or Micheloni Kerman in order to do the install. Well, EVA there. Oh, so activate a hatch. Oops, great. The problem with that is these guys are in here. Okay, and they really need this. This doesn't have a hatch. The hatches are over there. Let me do a transfer. There. Okay, Ted Kerman. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now, check his inventory first. Okay, this is the one who's carrying the bombs. We don't need bombs here right now, so I'm just going to move some of them over to here. What we do need is an electric screwdriver. Okay. And we need, not that. There we go. Right now we just want one of those. Okay. Great. Alright, so now let's do this. I want to equip the screwdriver. And by the way, this is always a fun part. Every time I use KIS, I have to relearn it. Oh, right. He doesn't have enough. He weighs too much right now. I need to offload as much as I can. All right. So RCS isn't quite enough, but it'll be good enough for what we need to do here. Okay, put that away for right now. Now I don't know if I have to jump up to do this or not, but that's what's going to be the interesting thing here. Okay, so let's see if we can do it without having to go there. That would be H. That's too far away. Okay. Oops. Oh, nuts. I'm gonna have to do this hard way. I'm gonna have to bring the rover over and have him stand on top of the rover. There we go. That should do. All right. So actually, it's gonna be interesting. Okay, we have. Okay. Okay, there we go. Let me just love lag. Whoops. Let's try this again. First, let me unequip that. Not that you think it's hurting, but inventory. Unequip. There we go. Wait. All right. Now let's see where we are here. Oh, it's still pretty far out. Huh. Oh, that's fun. I guess that's a little bug in here. Actually, he can. And this isn't Jebediah, by the way. This is Ted Kerbin. What's happening right now is I thought I had moved the rover all the way underneath. It's not. I need to get him a little closer. Here. Break off. I'm not going to worry about him. He can always get back on. Okay. All right, that'll do. There we go. Try this again. Oh, the whole thing is moving. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Let's see if we can do it before it moves out of sight. Inventory. Equip. Too far from the target. Oops. Don't go away. Don't go away. Don't do that. Let's do that. Okay, and now let's... Okay. Definitely underneath now. Inventory. That is equipped. Good. Bingo. Okay. All right, so that's attached. We'll get to use that later on. F to grab. Board. Thank you. All right. Alright, now let's find out where we have to go. We have to go there. Wish I could target something while we're down here, but we can't. Okay. Yeah. Let us target. Alright. The reason I'm doing that is that I'm going to be using target. There we go. Turn that off. Say that's off. Break off, and then we go on a journey. There we go. Hello, by Therial. Welcome to the Flying Penguins. And what's talking about Willis? Oh, thank you very much. Well, that's called trajectories. It's very good, but you also have to learn how to use it. If you don't use it properly, it will not show you exactly what you're looking for. When I did this, that's part of trajectories. Okay, because I'm telling you where I target it, and that's what I'm targeting. And that's now obviously, since I'm on the surface, I'm not going to fly to it. Okay, but if I was flying, then that would be a target. Okay, so what talking about? I'm just going to call you Wachu because you have a long name there. Say hi to your son and tell him I am not planning on taking off without anybody being underneath the rocket. I tend to try to avoid killing kerbals in general. Doesn't mean I haven't, but I do my best not to. In fact, in this set of missions, I actually did kill someone because the lag was too much, and well, basically someone just got something blew up when he was too close. I did do a revert. This is not a revertless. I'm not playing, Iron Man mode. I do allow reverts. This set of missions I do reverts. Whoops. Oh, stop that. That was lucky. I have reaction wheels in here, and what I just did then, I would have rolled, but I turned them on, and so the reaction wheels was able to hold my angle without having any real issues. That's a problem with when you're on the Mun. Rovers tend to fly very easily. Okay. In general, you want your vehicles to have a low center of gravity so they won't roll. Unfortunately, that tends to conflict with trying to get something inside a payload bay. So I ended up with something like this, using treads, and so the center of gravity is as low as I could possibly make it, while having enclosed vehicles. A rover, very easy to do a rover with just a bunch of seats on, but they had to be enclosed here. What I would suggest is get onto 1.7 and try it. Most mods will work. Okay, I know that there are a few which haven't. There's even been a thread there talking about someone who wants to make a new mod to actually report on issues like that which occur. I've told him that he just was putting it into the ABC mod, but I didn't feel that was the right place for it. So in terms of trajectories, Flickin, this is the trajectories icon. You have to right click on it, and then it brings you up a window. Okay, left click. I forget exactly how it works right now, and frankly, if I get too much distracted here, I'll end up rolling this little thing, which I don't really want to do. Okay, now something which would have been really neat, and they don't have it yet, are well, I think they've started coming out with the new wheels which actually fold in and can be folded out, like the real rovers do. That way you can make it and close everything up for shipment, and when you get there you open them up, and you can end up with a wider wheelbase, which is what helps you from rolling. Okay, but anyway, the problem here is that my center of gravity is probably right around there, in the horizontal line, right smack in the middle, which is actually pretty high up compared to where it is. So it means that when I go through a turn, it's gonna lean over and possibly roll. Not something that you really want to do. Again, as I was saying, most mods for 1.6 will work on 1.7. I know that there are a few which don't, but the best thing to do is to try it and see what happens. Now, I'm not a spot landing person. It would have been better if I could have landed this shuttle much closer. One of the reasons I do these challenges, besides the fact that I enjoy them, is because it's stretching my abilities. I never did shuttles up until the time I started doing this challenge. And I've decided, I'm using the Mark 2.5 spaceplane shuttle parts, which is a 2.5 meter shuttle instead of the stock 3.75 meter. So what it means is that my payload bay is smaller. Shuttle is actually easy to fly in many cases, but what I can bring up is more limited. And there's the shuttle challenge thread. Hello, Simo. Well, as I said, I did do a revert, and Snackless. Hello. I did revert that time when Bob blew up because I was trying to run away and the game just lagged out too much. Okay, we are 3.5 kilometers away. I guess it helps if I make sure that the game has my focus. So what I'm going to have to do is I have basically little refueling rovers which were sitting at this other site, and I'm going to have to bring one of them back and use it to transport fuel over. Bionic? A biconic or bionic? Whoops. Somebody, Snackless, what did you do? Oh. Okay, Snackless, I'm going to give you a link in just a second. Give you permission. Okay. There you go. Biconic. What do you mean by biconic? Let's see what you're talking about here. Oh, that's interesting. It's certainly not bionic. How does it work? I mean, I see that it's doing okay. It looks like you're trying to do a Dream Tracer using stock parts mostly. All right. So you're giving yourself land like a rocket. That's interesting. Let me just look at that again. So what happens is you come in. So it's almost like what SpaceX is planning on doing with the Starship. You come in flat and then you flip to vertical on your land. Okay. And how's it coming along? It looks like it might be actually in a testing phase, or you actually have it working. Whoops! What did I just do? There we go. Oh, that's interesting. Look at that. The EVA, the IVA for these guys is a bit messed up. I was wondering. Huh. This view, the interior overlay only works properly if the IVA is correct, and it looks like this is not set up right. So that's obviously what it's using to give you the overlay. Well, it'll be interesting to see it actually work. And just check I don't need maneuver planner now, just check my plenty of electric charge. So we are actually near the South Pole. Let me break this down. Okay. That's where we are. We're very close to the South Pole, which means that we get sunlight for about 3 days at a time, and then we go into darkness for 3 days at a time. So right now we got getting plenty of sunlight, but I also have these two solar panels on top to try and grab a little bit extra when it's getting low. It was actually interesting when as I was starting up, I took a look and there's nobody else doing Kerbal tonight. Well, nobody that I know, I should say. These treads, I should say, not wheels, are from Kerbal Foundries, which is a mod which is now currently maintained by the same guy who does KSP Wheel, and that's what it uses. We are now inside physics range. Okay, we're running at 10 meters per second. We'll be there in about a minute or so. Really? I literally just, whoops, stop that. Okay. Slow ourselves down a little bit. There we go. Okay. What's really interesting is that every time it goes up in the air, you see the lag, and that's because right now it's running on the surface. When it bumps up in the air, it actually is flying a little bit. So Kerbal KSP has to do a little bit extra work. Okay, we are 1,000 meters away. Okay, so these see the numbers which are up there above the mouse. I'm going to have to work on the overlay a little bit so that I'm going to have an alternative overlay. Obviously, it doesn't make sense having a PE and an AP when you're on the surface. Okay, the other stuff is fine. I'll have to work on an alternative overlay for that. Oops. Okay, there we go. And now we're coming up to the main research facility site. I have to figure out what mod that is from. And I may want to take a look, see if there's any tweaking that can be done to fix the IVA. It actually looks like the IVA is there. It just needs to be positioned a little better. Alright. So, wait. As we're getting close, you can see there's a couple of fuel tanks left over. Again, that's from the shuttles which came in. Those guys, however, are empty. That is the research base. And, well, it's getting into... Uh-oh. KSP is having fun. My shuttles are flying into the air. Because we just got into physics range. Well, I should say that this shuttle went up. That one didn't seem to do much. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So this is the first. Let's go over and show what's around here first. Okay. So this shuttle. There we go. Okay. While it's on its side, it's a full tank of fuel there, which supplements all the fuel tanks here and here. Okay. Now these guys happen to be full, so we're fine there. Okay. So this one's actually ready to go home. All right. Now, what I need, however, is to get this one. Let's get to here. So this is this fuel tank. You can see it's empty. Okay, this is the research facility, which has 5. Okay, let's see if we can see the interior overlay. There we go. You can see the interior. That's very interesting. That, according to the overlay, you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, those aren't seats. Those are something or other. Okay, so that has 2 seats there. Well, that's very odd. It looks like it's backwards set of joysticks. Okay. Here are the passenger compartment, and then we have another one back there. So you can see the 5 kerbals. Okay. And again, the reason I have so much space is that when you have a research facility, long-term living, you don't want to have 1 kerbal per seat. You want to have spare room. Role-playing. Nothing in the game says you have to do that. This is me saying it. Okay. Now this also is supported using air brakes. And the nice thing about the air brakes is that they go up and down. and they also don't get damaged by collisions that much. Oops, no, let's not do that. Let's do this. Okay, here is the shuttle, which has a fuel issue. Okay, we've lost some fuel. Okay, so what I have to do first is get this out of here somehow, and then transfer fuel from here into the shuttle in order to fill it up. Then we take this all the way back to the other ship, fill it up over there, and bring it back here and get it attached inside. Okay, so there we go. I'm literally just trying to knock it down so it can roll off. Once it rolls off, I can then attach to it using the docking clamp, and then I can actually roll it over because the reaction wheels in this is more than enough powerful to be able to do that. There we go. You're one of my first. Okay, so we got that down there. I'll get to the giveaway in a couple of minutes. Okay. The good news is that pilot only for that. No, pilot only. There we go. Deploy. So this is not a standard docking port. It's what's called a flexible docking port. And what it does, you're going to see in a moment here. It will bend in order to do the actual docking. Within limits, of course. Okay. So there we got there. Okay, that can be ignored. I spent some time last week and I went through my log file and I fixed a number of the seg faults which we're having and null refs, and I actually submitted PRs on GitHub to the mod authors. Okay, so now I want to pilot only. Okay. There we go. Whoops. Okay. Good. All right. So break this. What was happening was this was moving on its own. I was trying to just use this to interrupt it, but the SAS was it was overpowering. Now we can do that. Now we can. What I'm going to do now is get these guys properly docked. I want to do this docking without using the flexible part. Okay. It's spinning a little bit. We've got electric charge. Maybe I can do it from here now. There we go. Okay, good. The reason I wanted to do this is that now I can tow this to the other vessel. But first thing we need to do is to fill up these tanks. Okay, so let's get the brakes off. I'm making sure that the wheels are traveling in the right direction correctly. Yes, okay. And let us brake. Okay, so wheel controls, steering invert. There's a steering half track, steering lock. Okay. Good. That's steering inverted. Make sure about this one. Okay, good. And the last thing I'll do then is get these going, steering lock, speed these guys up. Okay, and I have to reverse both of them. Invert steering, invert steering. There you go. Okay. Simyo, what's genius? What I'm doing right now, or just curious? There we go. I'm not worried about the artificial horizon, but thank you. That's simply because the docking port is put in, and it's again. This is supposed to be a module from a rocket, basically. So yeah, I can control from here, and it looks like it'll work, but not necessarily the same. But not a big deal. For those of you who have issues with docking ports not looking the right way, it's now fixed. All right. So what I'm going to do here is oops. You know what? I don't actually need to get it onto there for this, for the refueling. This will be fine. Okay, let's not destroy the shuttle. All right, so now let's see we have an engineer in here. I believe I do. Transfer crew. We have Ted is a engineer. There we go. And let's see what he has in inventory. Yeah, you do need patch conics. Supposedly they do. Okay, this is actually the first time I'm using using them like that. But there is a half-track mode, so I'm pretty sure that's what's happening. Inventory. Okay, so we have that. Good. Leave that there. And let's take a look at the inventory here. I don't need any of that. And I need that. Might as well take two, because you'll see why in a moment. I did bring extra spares on aboard. I did learn a long time ago that if you don't bring spares, you got a problem, because you're always going to need it. Okay. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk down here, attach this here, and then attach one of these guys here or here, it doesn't really matter, and then run a pipe between them. Okay, he is equipped. Good. Oops, not off. Okay, you want to go off, I'll let you go off. There we go. I got two things going on. I'm hitting the thing over there, so it's actually not letting me go there. I could climb up on it if I want to. And then I'm going to have to worry about that. So let's see if I can just get him this way. Okay. Well, let's take this. I'm sorry, I missed. Oh, Lee 2, thank you for the follow. So we're gonna attach this over here. Okay, and now we're going to take one of these guys and attach it to over there. You can, okay, and finally, because I'm going to need this later, I'm just going to do this here. I'm going to need this at the other ship. I figured I might as well get this done now. Okay, unequip. So we want to grab a connector from there. And can I do it this close? Attach connector, yes. Okay, good. All right, so there's our pipe. Okay, and if you look closely at this, you can see that it's really a coil of pipes. Lee 2, I'm not sure what you mean by installation of programs. I can point out plenty of things with Windows which are very difficult also. And then you really, unless you're installing drivers, you should never have to reboot a Linux system. Okay. I happen to be running, my work computer is a Mac, running Mac OS X, and it literally stays up for weeks at a time. I have a couple of Linux boxes down below my desk. They're running my Jenkins build and other, and again, I have no problem with them. They just run. Okay. Okay, there we go. Aha, okay, do that, and that, in, oops. Okay. So it looks like the fuel got drained from here first, and nowhere else. So I'm just transferring all the fuel to those guys. Okay, from here, and then I'll fill this up. Okay, keep that. We have to check the other side now. Oops, don't want that. Okay, so Flykin, do you have the toolbar, the old Blitzy toolbar installed? And Lee 2, which capture card are you talking about? Okay. We really didn't use up that much fuel. The reason this one ran out of fuel was that this particular shuttle ended up driving 5 to 8 kilometers over the surface using the engines as propulsion. So we need to get it filled up before we actually take off, because it's going to need that. Okay. So that's good. And let's just check these. Oh, look, that we have that. That's also empty. Oh, looks like all of them got empties. Well, not all of them, but all right. So when okay, fine. Oh, okay. So I had to dock it now. Do that. There we go. So Flicken, what you really need to do, because I'm not, while I use it, it's not it's not anything that I've written or dealt with that way. You really, if you have problems, if you can't get answers here, look in the forum thread. Okay. Okay, so that's getting there. Okay. That's good. Well, that's fine. Looking again, I don't mind answering questions. I'm just saying that, um, for something like that, I can give you general help. Like, do you have the Ballistic toolbar installed? Because I'm pretty sure that it does not use the toolbar controller. Okay. Okay, we're getting here. Okay, so that entire side is now full. Okay, now we check the other side. There we go. It's the what he's looking for is what's called the Blizzy toolbar. It's this thing over here. Okay, it was written by someone who went by the name of Blizzy before KSB had a stock toolbar like this, and most mods started using it. Then KSB came up with stock, and then I wrote the toolbar controller to to make it easier to use both of them. But for mods which require it, if it's not there, then it's not going to work. Look at this. This whole side got emptied out. Now, it might have been from the way I transferred the fuel. Okay. Out. Out. And now we just wait. So in terms of mods, I prefer using CCAN. All my mods, I actually recommend you install using CCAN. CCAN is not universally beloved by some other mod authors, partially because several years ago, it had problems. It was not, it did not install things correctly. People were putting mods into CCAN, which the mod authors did not want in CCAN, and it just went on and on. It finally got taken care of, and CCAN right now is by far and away the best thing, I think, which KSB has ever had. Okay, so that should be it. Let's just make sure about this. Yes. 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 Actually, got that. I tell by doing this. 1636. Yeah, I think that's about it. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to undock it. Open GUI. It'd be nice if I knew what the Open GUI actually did. I think it was actually used to do the transfers, which I just did by hand. I'm not positive. Again, I don't use KIS that often, so I'm not sure why it's not opening the GUI properly. Let's change it from dock mode to undocked. Okay, we can now detach the connector. And let's get the kerbal. Okay. Connected all better. So let's take a look at the shuttle for a moment. Okay, so this shuttle, you can see here, oxidizer is full. Liquid fuel isn't. That's because the wings can hold fuel, even though they're locked out. So that's this one, and then this shuttle. Nope. Okay. Again, oxidizer is full. Not quite. 1157, 11. Ooh, that's interesting. I missed something then. Let's see what we got here. I'm going through them one by one because showing all of them is just gets too confusing. What I'm looking for is something which is missing about 40 units of oxidizer. There we are. 38. Okay, that was close enough. Okay, so that should do it. All right, I'm going to leave that there. We need to reattach this fueling line. Grab connector. I think it's just a little too far. Attach connector. Okay. Link mode docked. Okay. And now let's go. Let's do a final move of. It was one of the ones over here. Yeah. Okay, it's that. And that. Out. Out. Okay, that's good. I'm going to keep that open just to double check the rest of them. That's good. That's good. Okay, great. Undock. Detach connector.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Dragon Hero, thank you for the sub. For those of you who don't know, I usually give away a game every time I get a sub. And one second, Flaken, and I'll be good. I'll be getting that started in just a couple of minutes as soon as I get this. Anyone's eligible to join. I just want to get this taken care of before I forget about it. There we go. Okay. All right. So Flykin, the toolbar. You have a 000 toolbar folder. That's what you should have. Let me show you. Let me pull it up here. You get this going. So in order to do the giveaway, I have to get it for my the giveaways. All right. So for those of you who wish, you can type ! giveaway to get a list of the games currently available. If you wish to enter, and again, the only requirement is that you be here when I do the drawing. ! SUB, like that. Okay, I give you a 15-minute countdown, and I just started. So you got 15 minutes to enter the drawing. At which point, thereabouts, I'll do the drawing, and somebody will be the lucky winner. Okay, so now we need to, what we're going to do is trundle all the way back to the other ship, fuel up this with everything, bring it back here, and then attach it in there so it has enough to go home. Okay. Okay, and now we're all set. Alrighty. Well, that's actually pretty. We've made good progress. All right. And now I just need to go ahead and target that. Again, that's just to make it easy for the actual drive back. And actually, before I do that, yeah, that's actually fine. We'll go. Yes, only. Good. It would be really nice if that flexible docking port would be flexible as you traveled, but from what I could tell, that once it makes a connection, it's a solid thing. Okay. It's going to take a little time to get there. So I'm not heading directly there because there's various things in the way. All right, I'll do an F5 for safety. Okay. And okay, that's good. I'm going slower than before because this is obviously a somewhat less stable, because when we go over a hill like you've seen that here, the center can lose contact with the ground, or the rear or the front can lose contact. So, and I do have STS turned on. Basically, it's in a stability hold, so that if I do go airborne, it'll try and keep me upright. Hello, Bugme143. Welcome to the Flying Penguins. So we are currently in the final part of our Mun STS 234. I'm currently have a giveaway going. There's about 10 minutes left and nobody's entered. Exclamation point SUB to enter the giveaway. Exclamation point giveaway to see what games are available for you to pick. You mean whoever wins the giveaway. Okay, so going over this ridge is going to be a little interesting. Let's get a little closer to see what happens. Yep, we go airborne, or vacuum borne, however you want to call it. SAS kept us vertical, which is great. I got plenty, my electric charge is good. So far we're doing great. Okay. And again, I would zoom out because I wanted to see, make sure there weren't any craters between it and me. Craters can be a downfall. So I can actually go faster than this, but again, you know, on the Mun, you're really asking for trouble. And when I was driving that space shuttle over the surface, for about 4.5 kilometers, when I first did it, I hit a bump, and this whole shuttle, which was only moving at about 10 meters per second, literally did a complete flip, and luckily landed back on its front wheels. You know, going sideways on a slope isn't always a great idea, especially when you have a high center of gravity. So, I mean, I'm okay. I've done this enough times, but the first time I came through here, I was a little nervous about rolling over. I love I realize it's not the world's best effects, but the fact that you're getting effects at all of going over a dusty surface is nice. We're pretty much coasting now. So for those of you who don't know, no, I didn't realize I had that many people watching. I'm Linux Guru Gamer. I stream Sundays and Monday nights. Tonight is usually my career, or actually just play the game. Monday nights I will do modding, debugging modding, and or play the game as well. So if you tune in tomorrow night, you may see me working for a little bit on adding a new feature to the editor extensions mod. I'm sorry, to the Janitor's Closet mod, which is mostly done, but at this point it's working. It just needs a matter to get it to look nice. And I kind of got that, but I haven't had time to finish it off yet. And whatever else comes up. If there are bugs to be found, I go looking for bugs. And it's also, people want help with specific things. I'm more than happy to stop a game, especially on Monday nights, and to go through some basics which people may, questions they have. So this is actually, I'm actually quite happy with this little rover that I made. It turned out to be, very, very interesting. That message is from Kerbal Crash Systems. And I found a bug in it because it was spamming my log with seg faults. So I've sent a message off to the author. I'm still running my test version. Dragon here, what do you mean by follow age? That's not a command. So there's about 4 minutes left for the drawing, the giveaway. Again, exclamation point SUB to enter the giveaway, and exclamation point giveaway to see what's available. I have one entry so far. Okay. And again, the only thing you have to do is to be in chat. I don't require follow. I don't require anything. The only requirement is that when the giveaway is done, that the person winning it be able to respond in chat. Because except in very rare cases, I won't hold the giveaway for someone. There we go. Well, since I actually got 2 subs now, I have 2 giveaways. I would have no idea, Dragon Hero. You might have to ask Twitch that. I would say Google and see if there's a way of finding out. I know, Twitch is like, Twitch remembers everything. We were flying. Normally not a good idea to do in a rover, and this, since I have 2 command pods with SAS built in, I have more than enough SAS to keep me steady. But just very, it's just not a good idea in general. But I've been working on these series of missions for long enough that I'm getting a little impatient. Yeah, these. So the IVA in here is messed up. Okay, and I can tell you that because of what I'm seeing here. Yeah, this is good, but this isn't. It just telling me it's positioned a little bit too far back. So I'll have to take a look at the config and see if I can fix that. Okay, we're within physics range now of the other vessels. Okay, we're skirting. Okay, now at least I can go. And actually, the one I want to go to is, yep, what I'm actually targeting. There we go. was that? Oh, maybe it was getting the fact that we came into range and it just decided to transmit a sound through the vacuum of space. Yes, there is. Hi, Doc. There is a mod which extends physical range. I know it's used by the RO people. Maybe BD Armory also. I don't know what it's called. That's the end. I'm going to wait until I finish this. When I get to the ship, that's when I'll do the drawing. Yeah, Doc, I actually saw a, I mean, check in CCAN. It might even be there. Hold on a second. Let me do that for you. Yes, it's in CCAN. Here's the link for you. There you go. So, just to summarize, what you're seeing here is a space shuttle here, which is landed on SpaceX-style legs. That's an emergency escape vehicle, which actually was brought up by this. Bill Tank, thank you for the follow. And this is pretty much the last chance for people to get into the giveaway. Again, exclamation point SUB. And that'll be, and then I have 2 people entered. I have 2 things to give away. So, all right. So we will. Okay. Okay. And of course, this is the wonderful KSP with the sliding spaceship. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can. Oops, wrong one. You can go out and hook up the fueler. Oops, not F. R. Okay. I love KSP. Look at that. Don't you just love it when things like that happen? I'll get him back on in a minute. Okay. There we go. Okay, we're now. Okay, we want to do this. There we are. Okay. That. And that. Out. Out. Okay, so we got ourselves refueled. Let's get back to the kerbal and detach ourselves from the rocket, and we can start on our way back. Detach connector. There we go. All right, we can get back in now. Everyone who's currently in this rover is going to have to get back into the space shuttle before we finish. So, but for now, okay. So let's just get a little further away from here before we do any sort of crazy maneuvering. There we go. Why is it having trouble moving now? I'm looking for anything which might be damaged. No. Almost looks like these guys aren't working properly. Oh, this is broken. That's what. Okay. All right, that's easy enough. How about this one? Is that one also broken? Yeah, okay. Alrighty, so let's go to our engineer out again. Let's see if I can fix it without having to get down. Whee! Hello. Yes, I can. Repair. Okay. Come here and repair. Okay. F. Board. There we go. It's better. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's just get my direction set properly, and now we go. So for those of you who haven't run into the ability to repair wheels or what, I'm running a mod called Kerbal Crash Systems, KKS, and it does a couple of things. First, it shows when you get damage, it actually deforms the model, so you can see the damage, and then when something's damaged, depending on what it is, it gives you the ability to go out and repair it, which is what I just did. It's getting a little closer to the edge than I like, but I think I'm just stopping so I can do a quick save. And I am going to go kind of along the edge of this crater. Hopefully I won't go in it. This is actually going to be a little bit interesting as we go over this edge here. Oh, it worked. Unfortunately, this got me down inside the crater, which is not what I wanted to do. Whoops. Let's see what happened. Oh, what broke? What damaged? Okay. Good thing I did an F5. What'd I lose? Communitron. That still looks like the antenna. I lost one of my antennas. Well, I can always revert, but let's see if I can do without reverting. Okay, the power of SAS. And that's why I really didn't want to go into the crater. I lost an antenna over there. Not a big deal. It wasn't needed other than looks. But okay. And let's get back on target. Turning too fast doesn't work too well. Luckily, there wasn't any damage. Like operational. Operational. Oh, brakes are on. That would help. Enough of the shenanigans. Let's just finish up the mission and go home. What I'm going to try and do, well, I can talk about this while we trundle along, is I'm going to take one. I'm going to try and put a docking node on the back here, as well as the front. And that'll let me be able to back the whole thing into the shuttle bay, hopefully on its wheels. But it has to be a flexible one. It can't be a regular. Whoops. Okay. So the only thing I lost during that tumble was one antenna from here. Looks like everything else is still good, and that's fine. I'm sorry, bug me. You're donating your game to who? This is the police. Okay, this is the police. Here you go, L2. All right. And thank you for playing. It is a Steam key, by the way. You know, there actually is a science fiction book in which then the inhabitants of a particular planet were actually evolved machines, and they literally grew themselves, not how do you say, not put together. And it was I forget the exact title, but it was part of made by Keith Lamore, I believe. And the main character is called Retrieve, who is a diplomat, aka problem solver. My pleasure, L2. Thank you for participating, and to the other whoever it was who did the subs. We're about 3.2 kilometers away. I can see it here and over here. By the way, I'm still running KSP 1.6.1 with this. I've not yet upgraded to 1.7, and I probably won't, at least until I finish this particular set of missions. About 3 kilometers to go. I'm sorry it takes so long, but driving over the surface of the Mun just isn't a fast proposition. Okay, no more. Again, just making sure I wasn't coming up to another raider. That's fine, Bugny. You had said you were going to give your winning to somebody else. Who was that? I'd like to thank all of you for being here and spending some time with me. I have a larger audience than I normally do. I can only assume that's because nobody else is really doing KSP. But regardless, whether it's because nobody else is doing it or if you're enjoying watching me, thank you for being here. Okay. I do need to get rid of that, but I was displaying that so I knew what was going on in his mod, in the Kerbal crash systems. Whoops. Ah! Son of a gun. Okay. Again, remember what I was talking about, the slope? The slope, again, because this is now a full tank instead of a partially full tank, the center of gravity is higher than before. So I have to be careful when turning on a slope, or else I will flip the way I just did. Yes, but bug me. Try driving on 1/6 gravity. At least I'm able to get it back up right. Oh, absolutely. And I normally play with a mod called Mandatory RCS. And what Mandatory RCS does is that basically nerfs reaction wheels. But this particular challenge is hard enough that I figured I'm going to play with the stock RCS, stock reaction wheels, and just deal with it. CMG B101. I'm not sure what that is. Okay, we're within. Well, and I do. I totally agree with Youth League, but I was operating within the constraints of a 2.5 meter shuttle bay. Okay, which kind of limits. Well, let me rephrase that: 2.5 meter shuttle bay, and it had to be enclosed, not external seats. Oh, okay. Thank you, B101. All right. So when you do that, I ended up with something like this, because this is 1.875 meter, and excuse me a second. Okay. All right.
Hope he's on.
He is. Come here. Come here. Hold on a second. Come here. It's okay. Good boy.
Stay. Stay, my love.
Come here. Good boy.
He's camera shy.
I'm sorry. My dog came to pay a visit, and I was trying to pick him up, and he kind of dodged. He'll be back, I'm sure.
I'll leave him.
Okay.
Can't refuse request consent.
Sorry about that. Anyway, he'll be back. But in the meantime, the problem with the doggy bed is that he doesn't, he'll sleep in it, but then when he wants attention, he comes out. And I have enough cameras. I don't need yet another camera. Okay. So here we are back at the main base. All right, so now what I want to do is I'm going to have to take this off right now. Well, not for right now, I'm just going to take that off, period, because it's going to keep it from getting into the shuttle bay. And then I need to get another docking port on that end. Oh, there we go. Okay. There really is only one place to get another docking port from. If I remember correctly, I have one over there, and there should be one at the other end as well. Yes, there is. Okay, great. Engineer, EVA. Oh, and the dog just went upstairs. I guess he's really camera shy today. All right, inventory. Equip. I'm not doing this. It's just lagging so much. First thing I want to do is get rid of this. Okay, take that off. And I'm sorry, I can't read this. Q, auto change mode, H to attach, escape to cancel. Just huh. Can't put it back in my inventory for some odd reason. Grab. Okay. Got the right inventory. Okay. Hmm. Okay, we don't need it anymore. We'll just leave it there. Not a big deal for that. However, I am a little concerned that I wasn't able to do anything. Oh, the dog is back. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on. Come on, Stretch. Yeah, come on. Come on. Done. You want it up? Unlike Rocketology, whose dogs love being on camera, he doesn't. Okay, alright. He's just not into being picked up now. Oh well. Let's go ahead and get the docking port. Okay, good. Too heavy. Bring more kerbals. Okay. All right, Bill, we need you. I just might be using it the wrong way. That's all. But it came out of an inventory, so I don't know. But we'll see. The problem is that the screen is so small, the text is so small on screen, I'm not able to read the right commands. Can't be a part. Yeah, see, I'm doing it wrong, I'm pretty sure. But right now I want to get this down, if I can. All right. This function is not supported on this part, so I can't do it. I love how first it said it's too heavy, and then when I'm ready to do it, it won't let me do it. Don't you love that? Oh, it's the root part? That would explain it. No. All right, so if that's the root part, then let's just go to the other end. There we go. That would be very interesting. Okay. Oh, okay, fine. Doing things you're not supposed to isn't really a great idea. Okay. All right, so I'm going to leave this here for right now, and I'm going to bring the rover over so we can attach it. There we go. So, break off. Oh, it's over there. Okay, good. Well, you're talking about the that? It did stop. Took a while, but it did stop. Okay. Wow, it worked. Didn't give me the sounds I wanted, but it close enough. Okay. That's pretty good for doing it by eye. All right. Let's get the other Kerbal away, get Bill back into the ship, and then we'll bring him back, and then we can go ahead and see if we can get that into the shuttle. Okay. Whoops, just missed. All right, not a big deal. Yeah, CF League. I thought it was going to keep going also, but but it was going very slowly, so I guess I lucked out in this case. Okay, so we want to get over to here. Grab and board. Okay, good. All right. So we're going to be going into there. Okay. Let's get him inside. And board. Okay, great. All right. So now I'm going to put this into the other shuttle. Then I have to take everyone in here back to the other ship, as well as one other person from one of the. And I need a pilot to be able to bring it back here, so that this group will be able to take it over back again to the EEV and get home that way. In the meantime, okay, let us do this. Will this work? Control from here, upside down. That figures. I am going to do an F5 just before I start to actually go on board. Because it's entirely possible that things can get really messed up here. I can't set that as target. Actually, yes, I can. Okay, great. All right, F5. Got about that antenna. Okay. We need to remove it. Come on. Okay. Huh. Okay. H to do a detach. G is to grab it. Okay. I actually don't want it to stay there. Yeah, it really is strange that it's not going, it's not letting me stick it into inventory. All right. It'll go and replace the one which got destroyed. Hmm. Strange. Okay. Close. Okay. Actually, you know something? Before I do that, let me do a little bit of demolition. No, not there. Yeah. Come on, I didn't land that hard. Okay, inventory. Inventory. There. Okay. That's set up. Okay, I'm giving myself 20 seconds in a radius of 5 meters. Okay. And close that. Activate. All right. It should be going boom in a minute. There we go. It worked. And it didn't damage anything either. Don't worry about that. I love the delayed sound. All right, let's get rid of that also. I need another explosive. Okay. Okay, great. What happened when the first time I tried using that explosives, was it last week or the week before? I didn't change the distance or the time, so and it was lagging so much that I was still within 10 feet of it, 10 meters of it when it went boom. So I killed my kerbal. I did a reverter for that. Close. Okay, so here I'm gonna, oops, a little too far away. Setup. Okay. Okay. So I told it, I think, within a meter so that it wouldn't hopefully damage that shuttle. See, you can get explosions without having rockets blowing up. Just tanks. Yay, it worked. All right, I don't care if it's the little pieces, but those that big tank was a little bit too big to leave in there when the shuttles want to go home. All right. All right. Now, it's thinking about it. Still thinking. Split what stacks, CF League? Oh, you're talking about the charge? Well, it worked. Oh, it would help if I stopped, if I remembered what I was doing. Okay. We get inventory for him. And yeah, see, there are 3 RTGs here, which I'm going to. Yeah, well, there's 3. There's more than 3. We don't need to bring them back home. What I'm going to do is actually just go and waddle over to the research station and attach them to there. I brought the RTGs out because I had a feeling that I might need to attach them to those little fuel rovers, fueling cans. I only use 1 charge per, to the best of my knowledge. Okay. Inventory. Oops. Well, that's if you don't use diminishing RTG, which is a mod I recently adopted. And diminishing RTG actually makes them run out. So if anyone has seen The Martian, it's years League. Again, you're diminishing RTG. There are 4 different types of fuel you can use, and each one has its own characteristics. Don't worry about that. And I'm just really more concerned with the inventory of that. Here, that one also has, so I just need to get rid of it. No need to lug these heavy things back home, because believe it or not, they will significantly affect the STS. Dry mass is 80, so 86. I'm getting rid of 480 kilograms, which is almost 1,000 pounds of mass. Now, interesting thing that with those things installed, being carried, it's just too heavy for me to do anything. So I do this. Let us fall off. Yeah, there's pretty much every type of energy source in KSB has some drawback. For example, solar panels are great. They give you free power, but they need the sunlight, and the further away they get, the less power they generate. Fuel cells, they generate power, but they use up fuel. RTGs was infinite fuel. So I happen to like the idea of this particular mod. But again, you know, for this particular, since this isn't a career game, I'm not worried about it. I'm not sure if you can hear the drilling as I oops, stop that. Okay. Whoops, didn't quite get there. Wait. All right. Forward. Okay, there we go. We're all set, ready to do that. One more F5. And now let's go in. So what's going to happen is I'm going to push it up. Okay. And might as well extend it right now. Okay. And the theory is that now I may need to raise the nose. Okay, right now I'm going to try it, see how far I get in. But when it gets close to here, it'll be able to attach. Yep, I am going to have to raise the nose. Okay. All right. Actually, let me get out of the way. The reason I have to raise the nose and not the main wheels is that there's a little gap between the bottom of the ramp . There we go. So all we're going to do here is raise the nose gear. And yes, it's gonna jump up and down. There we go. Try it again. Okay. Alrighty. So what's happening is that this is just too long. So what I'll have to do, I'll break it apart. Since these guys now have full power, or they will in a moment. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So you should have enough to be able to go in, and even if it gets halfway, then I can come in and kind of give him a push. Okay, undock. Control from here. Here we go. Oh, it worked. Wow. That went a lot easier than I expected. All right, deploy. Bingo. All right, we got that. That's very good. Now I can do this. Okay. Brakes are on. Yes. All right. We actually have two in here. And DevDull, thank you for the follow. And there are three in here, right? No, there's four in here. And how many do we have? Oh, right. And that's fine. And here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we need a pilot here. Oh, they're all scientists. Isn't that smart? Or are they? There's our pilot. Okay. So what I'm doing now is that this little girl, or whatever her name is, Lenmund, is going to hop a ride in the rover. Is going to go on back to the other ship, offload these kerbals, and then she will bring it back here. And at that point, I should be able to take all, start flying the ships home. All right. So right now, I don't believe that should have maybe in here. The front is already full. All right. Good. Let's head on back. Okay. Make sure everything's good here. Operational. Yep. Okay. Fix that SAS. Reaction wheels, SAS only. There we go. CF League, all the kerbals in here are going back on the shuttle back there, okay? Except for one. And that one is Linmund. Linmund is the pilot for the research base. She's going to bring this rover back to the research base, okay? Because to finish off the mission, the obviously this rover works quite well. But the mission requirements are that the researchers go out in the rover, take a short drive, and then go back, then return in the EEV. Okay, so that's what I'm working on now. I mean, frankly, I didn't need to send up, full crews with them. I just like to. Also, I actually did need a full crew in order to carry all of the stuff in the inventory. Gameable, what do you... I'm sorry, I must have... Whoops, is that right? Yeah, okay, that's good. Okay. Let's see. Do 1.6... Most 1.6... Most mods which work on 1.6 will work on 1.7. Very specifically, I would say that try it. If you have anything funny going on, go onto the forums, post a message. Don't forget to post your log files, which you will be asked for if you don't. Put it there. So by having the log files initially, you save time all around. Okay. There are a few mods. I've had to update a couple which didn't work. And don't ask me which ones right now. I'd have to go look. Yeah, what CF League says is absolutely correct. Don't use your primary save. Back things up. And when I say back it up, you can also back up the entire KSP directory. Okay? Because sometimes you put a new mod in, and when you back it out, things will have changed already. So, I actually did that with this particular game. I told CCAN to update. I forgot I had changed the setting in it. So it updated several mods to 1.7, and those few mods it updated were incompatible with 1.6. Okay, so I had problems. So I had to restore the whole thing. Speaking of, that might be useful for here. Okay. And I know that there's a crater, which we're approaching. So I'm going to head a little bit to the right to make sure I don't run into that. Now, apparently there are some mods out there which have not been compiled properly. They were compiled against .NET 4.5, and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. I don't have it in front of me. Let me see if I can dig it out. There's a thread which was started talking about this. Here we go. All right. So here, look at this thread being run by Tonka Crash, talking about broken mods. Right, well, Gameable, what I'm saying is you can use it to see what mods CCAN knows has been updated for 1.7. It won't be all of them, but it seems to be a good list. Okay, and I'm not even going to go into the whys and why nots of CCAN. I like it. Others don't. That's, I don't want to get into the reasons why. I'm just saying, use it as a tool, even if not necessarily for the purpose it's been designed for. Oh, I think we went flying again. Okay, so I need to avoid right there. So, Doc, are you going to be streaming later on tonight? For those of you who don't know, Doc Skills is another KSP streamer. And he tends to get on somewhere around the time that I get off. Tomorrow. Okay. So I quite often raid him. Okay, 2 kilometers to go. I'm getting asked to maintain another mod. And someone sent me a thank you message on the forums. Very interesting name. I'm not going to go into that, but Steamport. This is not a shuttle cockpit. This is actually a couple of command pods put together back to back, along with a crew section, and it's a rover. Right now, it is transferring. You're bringing crew back to the space shuttle, and then we'll be able to get ready for returning 3 shuttles and the scientists back home on the EEV. Moon police, huh? Okay, so now I can go. I can. All right, we're 1,000 meters away. Well, actually, it's 1.875 meters. It's the Mark IIB PALLCI command pod, and I don't know which mod it's from. I can look. I'll look it up once we. I have to get back into the editor to do that. I don't think it's near future. It's not a mod I tend to use. Just give me a couple of minutes, and what I can do, I can get back into the editor, and Janitor's Closet has a method of showing that information. Also, I don't know if I have part info installed or not. That's another mod of mine which shows information. Okay. So we're approaching, this is the EEV, the Emergency Escape Vehicle, and this is the shuttle, which brought it over here. And it's actually going to take off vertically. That's okay, we don't need to. There we go. All right. So let's get our guys out of here. Okay, next. Kerbals love pictures. Okay. Transfer crew. There. All right. There we go. Everyone say cheese. Okay. Now let us get them back inside. Whoops. Don't hit the shuttle. I actually have more than enough pilots. This shuttle I think had 2 or 3 pilots or something like that. It was a little crazy. But there's only one pilot going. Hold on a second. In the there we go. There's only one pilot in the research station. Not board a full. Okay. Oh, interesting. Ah, joy. So 2 of these have to go into the other shuttles. Okay, this is full. So It's heading right back to the rover. Okay, and you can go back. All right. All right, so that shuttle is all set to go. This needs to go back to the other location. Okay, and let's head on back. I want to get all the shuttles ready to go so I could launch them all one after another. Well, there are 5 scientists and 1 pilot in the research station. We need the EEV, yeah. I've forgotten. I must have taken a couple of guys out of the other shuttles to do some of the work. So I just need to put them back now. Kerbal is still a thing. Skirting the edge of the crater. We don't want to do what we did before. Steam is taking over. I don't think so. Steam doesn't have the ability to do craft files, I believe. Not positive. I don't use Steam for that. Okay, what'd I just lose? Okay, I lost photoelectric solar cell. That's not a big deal. Where did I lose it from? I lost it from over there. Yep, this rover is a trike. It's actually a half track. Okay, so it's I'm just looking at the timeline now. It looks like what I'll be able to do, I'll be able to finish up all the ground operations here tonight, but I don't really have time to fly 3 shuttles and then the EEV back to Kerbin, simply because the shuttles are going to, and they're all going to be doing aero captures, and that just takes a lot of time. So I may just, what I'll be doing then is tomorrow night, I'll probably do a little bit of debugging. And then finish up the missions. I may also start a little early tomorrow because of this. I'll have to see. Yeah, the problem with KSP and Steam is that it will only work from the single Steam installation directory. So if you move KSP out of there, it won't work with Steam at all. PALLCI. I'm gonna see if I can find out what that is while I'm waiting for this. I don't need to do this on screen. Okay, so here I'm going into there, game. There it is. And that would also explain why it's not right. Because I believe, it looks like he may have changed, just simply done a rescaling. Let me see. Okay, so this is something made by Steed Kujian. Okay. Reaction wheel. There's the IVA. Oh. So here's why the IVA is messed up. He's using the IVA from the Mark II pod, and it's not perfect, which is why we're seeing this. It generally works well enough in game, except when you're talking about things like this. I'll contact him about this. I mean, it probably can be adjusted. Off my top of my head, I don't know how to do that. I'd have to do a little research. Yeah, so it's actually using the IVA from making history into it. So the problem is this, which, okay, if you look at this carefully, you can see that each one of these, that the IVA is going too far back. I'll send Snark a message. He's quite active on the forums. He's one of the moderators, and yeah, I'm sure he'll get it taken care of. It's fine when you're going into the IVA, but when you're using the IVA from outside, it doesn't work well. Most likely is a config setting. I mean, I like it a lot. Okay, we're just about 1 kilometer away now. EEV holds, I believe, 6. It has 1 of these, which is 2, and then 2 of these guys, which is 2 each. That gives you a total of 6. You can see here, 2 seats there. And again, it's hard to see in here, but each one of these, there you can see 1, 2 positions there. $600 meters away. There we go. So I've gotten a list here of every part that has an IVA, and I'm just going to look at all of them. There should be a way to specify an offset. There we go. So this one has 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So what it really means is that not there. Come on, where's the other, this one? This only has 2. So the 2 people, the 2 extras in here are coming to this shuttle. That would be Silver State and Mary Karani. Okay, 1. And actually, the engineer has a little bit of work to do. Okay. First, we'll go to this one. What has to be done is I put what's something called EVA struts, small little mod, onto these fuel tanks. Okay, and they need to be attached. At least one of them. See, there's one. Okay, can't get, that's too far away. Okay, there we go there. Pick up EVA strut and attach it. Okay. There should be one on the other side, but it's not a big deal. It would be nice if this was upright, but I can't really get it upright now. But again, for the purpose of this mission, it will be fine. What's going to happen actually is that I'm going to raise the priority on this tank so that this one gets emptied first, and when it's empty, I'll let it go. Same thing in the other shuttle. There we go. Pick up EVA strut. Drop it there. They're just like the regular struts, only you can set them while you're in EVA mode. You have to put them on first. Now, yes, you could use KAS, Kerbal Inventory System, in order to carry them as spares. Good night, CF League. Have a great night. I will look for you tomorrow night. And actually, I'm almost done here for tonight, just because of the time more than anything else. Oh, the explosives are coming home. Okay. That's all done, so we're going to close all bays. Okay. Close all bays. Okay. So the way this is going to work, okay, is probably going that way. Okay. This I don't think is enough. But what I want to do, I want to basically, or maybe I can turn around and go up that hill. And go up there, and what'll happen is once we're moving, we'll get catapulted up, and these, even though these are only thuds, they're strong enough to actually get us into orbit. Okay. What we really want is so that's where this one is. This one's going like that. We're actually pointing at 90 degrees. Well, actually, no, it doesn't really matter. We're so close to the pole. Wherever we go, we're going to be going into a polar orbit. So don't need to worry too much about that. Okay, so really, it looks like going over there is a possibility, or yeah, that's actually. Yeah, I know it's going this way. And yes, I can certainly turn them on the ground. Okay. Yeah. There's that little valley here. So if they come up here, we'll bounce a little bit, but that should be okay. And then these two will be able to go up and basically be going fast enough that we'll have a bit of air, so to speak, and then the thuds will keep firing, get us into space. Okay. All right. So now, no, I don't want that. I'm just going to dock this to the research station, and then I'm going to call it quits for the night. Hey, come on. Hello, Airborne Junkie. Which mission are you talking about? Capello 13, I don't believe I have. It's not part of the shuttle challenges, is it? Right now I'm in the middle of the Mun 2, 3, and 4. Not quite enough. Okay. So why can't we open that? That's very odd. Well, the fact we don't have a pilot on board? That's very strange. Why is this not controllable? Certainly have kerbals. Oh, no one in the cockpit. Oh, no one's in the cockpit. Transfer one from there into there. Thank you. Now we can deploy. Okay. So let's see if these things are smart enough to work this way. I will if I have to, and it was designed with that idea, but I want to see if this will work. No. Okay. It was worth trying. I love the way that works. Whoa! Okay, well, it's connected. Kind of odd, but all right, it works. It fulfills the objective of the mission, which is that they are able to dock together. Okay. All right, and with that, I'm going to call it quits for tonight. Okay. I think that I had a very successful evening. Didn't lose anybody. Didn't have to do any reverts or anything. Had some exciting times. But basically, you know, I've made progress to the point that I'm ready to finish off the mission. Right now, it's going to be 3 shuttle missions and the EV back going home, and I'll do that tomorrow night. All right. Well, I'm going to do a F5 for save. You really want to see what happens? Okay. Well, it reloaded okay. Don't need that. What's this called? Rename vessel. SAC probe. Debris. Okay. Can't rename that stuff. All right. So the reload went fine. Okay. Anyway, there isn't anybody else playing KSP that I can see. And so let me just check one other thing here. Oh, there are some people playing, but I don't know who they are. All right, and believe me, I'm not knocking them. I just don't like jumping over to someone's stream if I don't know them, simply because I try to keep this as a family-friendly stream. And I've been bit one time when I went into a new streamer, and he turned out to have an adult based stream. So I'm going to call it quits. No hosting, no raids tonight. Thank you all so very much for spending time with me, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. Have a great night and have a good week, and you take care of yourself.